You guys know the kind of channel I am. I'm a very direct type of person. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't come on here and try to play up to my subscribers. I don't try to play up to any boxer. I'm not friends with any boxer. I don't kiss any fighter's ass. I just say how I feel about the fighter. If you agree with me, you agree with me. If you don't, you don't. So I'm going to keep it as honest as possible. I don't think that Dillian Whyte will ever become a champion in his entire career. Ever. And I'll explain why. First of all, I don't think Dillian Whyte has what it takes to ever be a champion. I've seen a few people say that Dillian Whyte is a top 10 heavyweight. Complete nonsense. A top 10 heavyweight doesn't go life and death with Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora is a top 30, top 25 heavyweight at best. Dillian Whyte went life and death with him. You want to know what top 10 heavyweights do to a guy like Derek Chisora? They do what Tyson Fury did to him. They do what Vitaly Klitschko did to him. They do what David Haye did to him. They don't go life and death with a guy like Derek Chisora. I've always believed that Dillian Whyte was a very overrated British fighter. UK boxing fans are very high on their fighters. One thing I like about Dillian Whyte is he is a trash talker, but he's very overrated. He's already lost to one of the champions, which was Anthony Joshua. And he would always lose to Anthony Joshua. No matter how many times he fights Anthony Joshua. If Dillian Whyte fought Anthony Joshua 60 times, he would lose 60 times. A lot of people give him credit for going 7 rounds with Anthony Joshua. But what they need to understand is that wasn't a competitive fight. He won 2 rounds and he proceeded to get the shit bit out of him. People act like that was a very competitive fight. It wasn't. The first round was close. The second round he bust Anthony Joshua. You might have given it to Dillian Whyte. Then he went on to lose the next 5 rounds comprehensively. So yeah, he's just an overrated British fighter. Here's why I tell you he won't ever become a champion. Because I don't see him beating Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua gives him a rematch, he's going to get the shit beat out of him again. He's going to get brutally knocked out. He lost to a novice Anthony Joshua. When he fought Anthony Joshua 2 years ago, Anthony Joshua had very little experience. He was only like 15-0. And a novice Anthony Joshua beat the shit out of him. So imagine if he fought Anthony Joshua now. Anthony Joshua has gotten way better now. He's gotten way better precise, way better skilled. He's way more experienced now. He would beat the shit out of Dillian Whyte, the dog shit out of him. I don't think he beats Wilder. I think Wilder, I criticize Wilder all the time being a hype job, cherry picker, because he is. But Wilder, stylistically, is a nightmare for Dillian Whyte, because if Wilder were to stay on the outside and use his long reach and try to outbox Dillian Whyte would be forced to come forward. Dillian Whyte is not a pressure fighter. Dillian Whyte is a guy that prefers guys coming towards him. Even though that's also his downfall, because Dillian Whyte is a guy that I believe the way to beat Dillian Whyte is to outbox him or to come forward against him. And that's why guys like Anthony Joshua beat the shit out of him, because he was coming forward against one and he walked him down. And that's why Derek Chisora gave him hell, because he was walking toward against him. I believe Jarrell Big Baby Miller beats the shit out of Dillian Whyte too, because Dillian Whyte, stylistically, for someone like Jarrell Miller, is terrible for him, because Jarrell Miller would be going right down the pipe, right all up in his grill. And Dillian Whyte is not a puncher. He doesn't have the punching power to stop Jamal Charlo or to get his respect. He'll just, Jarrell Miller's, he'll just walk him down. Easy money for Big Baby. So yeah, I don't see him beating none of the champions. I see both Wilder and Anthony Joshua beating him. The only one he might be able to beat is Joseph Parker, but Joseph Parker, I think, is more talented than Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is going to be one of those guys that he's basically going to be a gatekeeper. He really has 2 losses, because a lot of people, including UK boxing fans, believe that Dillian Whyte lost to Derek Chisora. So if you think about it, he already has 2 losses. When he finally steps up in class and he stops fighting bums like Malcolm Tan, he will lose again. He's basically going to be Derek Chisora 2.0. You know, he makes fun of Derek Chisora. He called him all this stuff. He called him a donkey. But he's basically Derek Chisora 2.0, because I can almost guarantee you 3 years from now, Dillian Whyte is going to have like 6 losses on his record, and he'll be a glorified gatekeeper. And he's just going to be talking shit, but he's never going to be a champion. He will never be a champion. You guys could be mad at me. All my UK boxing fans that are subscribed to me can be mad at me, can feel insulted that I'm saying this, but it's the truth. At least I'm honest. You guys know how I am. I'm an honest guy. I don't sugarcoat shit. A lot of these boxing channels are friends with fighters, so they kiss fighters' asses. Even channels that I'm subscribed to, even channels that I like and I watch to. I'm not calling nobody out, but there's several channels that I'm subscribed to that I like, watching. They are friends with these fighters. They communicate with them. They phone them. They talk to them on the phone. So that's why they're kissing their ass all the time, and they're always talking high about them because they're friends with these fighters. Guess what, buddy? I'm not friends with none of these fighters, nor am I friends with none of these channels like that, so I don't kiss any fighter's ass. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to talk boxing and to keep it real. And Dillian Whyte will never be a champion. And 5 years from now, when this comes true, and when Dillian Whyte has like 7 losses on his record and he's just a glorified gatekeeper, you guys are going to be like, wow, I remember McGregor said this on his channel 5 years ago and he was right. Dillian Whyte never became a champion. He doesn't have what it takes to ever be a champion.